All right. So thank you for joining us here for our second installment of our AAPI Heritage Month um, seminar series. So today we're so excited to have Kimiko Tao Fujimoto, who is a fourth generation or Yonsei biracial Japanese French Canadian. She's had 15 years of experience as a wellness facilitator. And so she's going to share some of her toolbox today, different styles of meditation and breath work. She also does yoga and mindfulness practices centered upon supporting an individual's unique experience. She's been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, has owned multiple wellness centers, and she knows how hard it can be to balance workloads and support others in the health industry. And so she aims to share meditations that are accessible for everyday life to help people find the resources they need to take care of themselves and others. She's also a spiritual mentor and herbalist and is currently based out of Sacramento, California. So welcome, Kimiko, and take it away.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to support veterinarians and especially the Association of the Asian Veterinary Medical Professionals. So I'm really happy to be here. And yeah, that's really the essence of what we're going to be doing today is learning about meditation and how it can be applied and accessible to your everyday life. So wherever you are today, I know that some of you might be in different time zones and when you're doing this recording. So this is really a universal toolkit and we want to make it accessible so you can be sitting anywhere you are. You could be sitting in your bed, you could be on your couch or at your desk. You could be doing some of this meditation or walking or outside or even lying down. So you could be repeating these meditations through the recordings at any time equally. So I'm going to give you a lot of entry points into meditation. But for the most part, when we're meditating, we generally want to enable our hips to be higher than our knees. So if you're on the floor, you want to put yourself on like a, I'll just mute you just to have a clear recording. There you go. So you want to elevate yourself on some pillows if you're on the floor so that your hips are higher than your knees. The other way to do this is sitting directly on your chair. So if you're on a chair, you basically will put your feet flat on the floor with your knees parallel to your hips. And so you don't want to be leaning and slouching back into the back of the chair, because what that does is it creates a compression in your spine. And what we want to do is align our spine so that the spine is tall so that you can have a direct link between the brain and the body. And so really meditation is an embodied practice. It's really about like feeling what's happening within you, but also connecting to the larger experience around you. So the ways in which this seminar is going to go is first just to download a little bit of the information of the history, the origins of these practices, how it's sort of evolved, and then going into the practice of how we can take it and connect with it on a personal note. So we'll be going into 3 different types of meditation, one's for the morning, one's for the midday, and one's for the evening, so that you can have a arc line for your day that could be during your workload or your studentship and your studying, to have these pauses, because meditation really is a sense of pausing and feeling and breathing and just getting centered again. It's really not as complicated as you might think or have experienced before. We can have many different entry points into the practice to assess what works for you. And this is the origins of meditation. It's evolved over centuries. So it really dates back beyond. I mean, some people would say that this is a very intrinsic part of our human race, that we would sit, we would contemplate, we'd meditate, we'd be in nature, and that created a calming effect. And then if we go into the history of this particular tradition, it really bases itself out of the archaeological findings of the Indus Valley, which is in Asia continent, where modern day Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India is. And it's this deep, fertile region, this deep civilization that then working through being with the land, being with the elements, created a system of connection via your body, ritual, mythology, cosmology. And this is called the Vedas, which were these ancient scriptures that then gave rise to different philosophies. And so those philosophies gave rise to different techniques in order to create awakenings, enlightenment, self-realization. And all of those are the components of like, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be a person? What does it mean? What does my life mean? So there is this larger context of meditating to connect with your environment, with spirituality, with possibly religious figures. And so what we can recognize is that from these philosophical traditions and techniques, then different teachers and masters applied themselves to these techniques. And then from there, different schools of thought have arisen, such as the Buddha, who many of you know, meditation through Buddhism and so forth, or Zen practices. These are teachers, awakened masters who then come to a realization, and then they go and they spread this sort of technology out into the world. And wherever it lands, it evolves into the culture that is there at the time. So this is a practice that isn't just an ancient practice that we did so long ago. This is a practice that is really modern and relevant and is evolving within our own consciousness, within the experiences that we're having right now as a modern, wherever we are living. And so the history of it is that it is a tradition that spreads. It's a tradition that moves, that evolves. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to evolve the practice to meet the demands of where you are at. So I created this sequence of different meditations to really go into the roots of meditation, which is that it is this technology to be in your body, to breathe, to pause, but to also contemplate on the bigger spiritual connections, on that bigger why, to help resource you in your veterinary schooling and in servicing the community and all the stresses and demands that that follows into. So this is about giving you a resource and a connection for yourself in this technology and also in your own lifestyle. So however it relates to you. So the first thing that we were going to do is going to wake ourselves up and do a morning practice. So a morning practice is anything that can kind of get you back into your body, because many of us sometimes think that meditation is just to be very still, to not think. And if you've ever tried that, it's very, very hard. I'm sure you're like, okay, so you'll be like, oh, I can't meditate because I can't stop thinking. It's normal. That's part of the process. So it's about channeling your thoughts into what's most relevant and most important. And right now, if we can get back into our body, the mind all of a sudden starts to focus in on what's really present here versus all the to-do lists and all the things that I have to do. So this computation creates a lot of energy, and we get really heady and we get really stressed out and we get out of body in a way. And meditation is about like bringing and harnessing that back in. And luckily, when we wake up in the morning, we're much more in that meditative zone. Meditation being more like a state rather than action, a feeling of peace or well-being, or just a sense of presence. Generally, when you wake up, you're not going to be super stressed out, but you sometimes really are. So one thing to do is to wake up the body, make space for the energies to move and to be fluid. And then through that practice, you're going to be much more inclined to naturally be able to meditate, because everybody can meditate. It's just about finding the technique that works for them. So once again, we're going to start by just sitting up wherever you are. We're going to do this together. So enough of the philosophy and just now the action. So the first thing is activating. We're going to be moving our body, waking up the senses moving energy through our system, but also just stretching, getting things going, because in the morning you want to jump start. But then the magic is actually in the breaks. It's in the pauses. So once we stop moving, this is where your meditation is going to be the most ripe. So this is where I'm going to coach you to just rest, pause, breathe, and feel. Do nothing. Just kind of let things just naturally settle just the way that they are. So there's no trying to get someplace. Okay, so the first thing is simple. Just put your hands on your knees, wherever they feel comfortable, and just start to spin your torso. So you move your torso forward and back, and just kind of like you're stirring your system. And then to make it become much more intuitive and introspective and contemplative and personal, you just simply close your eyes or keep your eyes at a focus in front of you so that you can start to tune out what I'm saying and listen in to what your body is doing and feeling. Just breathe naturally into this movement. Whatever feels comfortable. And at any time, if you feel dizzy or if you feel like it's bringing up too much stress or anxiety, just open your eyes and look around your room, and that'll help to orient yourself in your space. Then slow that movement down, go into the opposite direction and circle through the belly like a hula hoop or spiraling. One of the practices of yoga is about how do I move my body in all different directions so that my mind can equally move in all different directions. Our mind and our body are in sync. And so if you want to affect change in your mind, you affect it in your body first. And you can go a little bit slower or faster. You can be really big with your movements or very soft and small and tender, depending on what time of day you're waking up or going to sleep. Morning and night can also be interchangeable in these meditations. So now slow the spinning down so that you can come into an upright position and allow your chin to slightly pull back into your throat, extend through the nape of the neck. Feel as if someone's pulling the top of your head up to the sky. Take a deep breath in and hold the breath. Try to sit up as tall as you can. And exhale. Breathe in naturally through the nose. It'll calm your nervous system down. And breathe out slowly through the nose. One more conscious breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Without direction, just notice the pause, the rest, the natural state of your attention, however it is. And then gently open your eyes, and we'll repeat this technique. Put your hands now once again on your knees or maybe on your shins if you're cross-legged, and we're just going to move the chest forward and then exhale, move it back. And try to do this with your breath so that you're just flipping the chest forward and back, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And you do this so that you can keep the natural lumbar curve of your spine like a wave. This is going to be very healthy for the communication through your nervous system, from your crown of your head to the base of your spine. and through the extremities to your fingers and toes. We want to wake up the synovial fluid between each of the discs in our vertebrae. This is very important to create a healthy spine for meditation and for your life. And you can go a little bit faster just to create some strong currents of circulation, energy, activating your body. Breathing in sync, inhaling forward, exhaling back. And then once again, take a deep breath in and straighten up your spine, close your eyes, hold the position, become very still as you access the power of your breath. Exhale. Breathe in naturally through the nose, slowly. Feel your body. Feel your mind in response to the movement and breath. And stabilizing this interconnection between the mind and the body. With your eyes closed or slightly open, just start to move your neck around in a circle, alleviating any tension through your neck, your jaw, your tongue, your teeth. Going slow and deliberate. Self-massage. And then counter those movements in the opposite direction. Big circles up and around. Bring your head back to center, and then inhale, shrug your shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale, shrug them back. So you just do big round circles. You can do this with breath so you can feel what it's like when you're hyper stressed, and then when you release that stress. When there's anxiety, anxiousness, and then you release this. When there's fear, worry, and then you release that. So you can start to feel how like your body is responding. So when you can start your day in your body, you'll notice when your body tenses up during the day. And that's a great sign to stop, to pause, to stretch out your body, to breathe, to recalibrate. So do this one more time, big circles on the shoulders. And then you can always like shake it off. You can move your head. Just if there's any little bits of kinks, you can get it out. And then finally, what we want to do is elevate energy. So every time we raise our hands, we elevate our energy. We create more oxygen in our body. So inhale, take the arms up. And then as you exhale, put your fingertips towards the ground. So they touch, but you're pushing down towards the earth. So this is the grounding energy. And then inhale, we rise, we activate, we generate. And then exhale, we just settle, ground, becoming much more confident in reality. And then breathe in again, inhale, waking it up, and exhale, softening, settling, releasing. Let's do this 3 more times. You can do this with your eyes closed. Breathe in, waking up, exhaling, coming back to earth, into the moment, into the body, breathing in. Do this one more time on your own. And turn your palms face up, put it on your lap, or put your palms down. So if you want more rising, activating energy, your palms are up. If you want more grounding energy, settling energy, put your palms down. And then with your eyes closed or slightly open, we're going to start to breathe consciously. So you're going to be now coaching your mind. You're going to be now co-creating with the natural experience of your breath. So you're actually going to say within whatever language you want to use, any language that works for you, you're going to say to yourself and do the action. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Or you can say to yourself, breathe in and breathe out, making it short. But say the action in your head while you do your breathing. Link your mind to the action of your breath. And every time you get distracted, pull your direction together. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Coach yourself to breathe in and breathe out. You've linked into the actual activity of living. Now you're going to craft your intention and generate the power and the emotional capacity to be in service, to do the work that you do. You want to generate power. And this is the power of compassion, of love, of peace, whatever it is that you want to call in to do the service that you need to and to support you on your path so that you can know that you can resource this around you and it's coming from within you. So now you're going to add whatever word you wish to co-create with. For example, breathe in compassion, breathe out compassion. Breathe in health, breathe out health. Apply your own personal words and generate that energy in your body with each breath. You can change the words or add new ones. Make it simple, but activate the breath with power of intention and affirm all that you need. Feel this power within your breath. Visualize it. Feel it entering every cell of your body, filling up your system like a gas tank. You have more than enough compassion, more than enough courage, more than enough skill. And so truly imagine that as you exhale, you're sharing that, you're offering that back into the world. So using the invitation of the morning hours, the beginning of your day, to really set the tempo, the focus, the intention for whatever it is that you need to do that day, to generate that power consciously so that it becomes present in all that you do, whether you're conscious or unconscious of it. And this is the deep component of meditation, which means in Latin to ponder. So you're pondering what it is that you can create with your day, with your service as a veterinarian, helping the animals and the peoples. This enables you to connect with the bigger picture of why you are a veterinarian, why you do this work, and what you hope to share through this practice. And then to close your meditation from all of this power that you've crafted, you can put your hands on your body. If it feels comfortable, or your hands on your legs, wherever you feel, chest and belly. And you simply bow your head just lightly in gratitude. Gratitude is the seal of the practice. And it enables you to bring in all of your power to focus. And it cultivates acceptance. So whatever your experience was, good, bad, it doesn't matter. In your words, you thank the meditation and you thank yourself for taking time and space to simply be, to be you, however that shows up today. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And you can already feel possibly a shift in just 15 minutes of that practice. So this is a way to wake up the day, be in your body, and set intention. You get powered up like you're drinking your cup of coffee, and then you go into work, and then you see your animals and your patients, and then you get tired again, and then you're like, oh, I gotta rush and eat my lunch really quickly and go back to work. So the same thing of pausing, breathing, feeling, and resting is important midday or any time. And so one thing about nourishment, meditation is nourishment, nourish for yourself, nourishment for your community, nourishment for your life. Same thing for your lunch breaks is that if you can meditate before, and students, yes. So students and vet techs, thank you for that clarification. So yes, students, of course, we're like grab and go, eating, studying, there's just a lot on our plate, right? So, but one thing is this multitasking is very detrimental to our health and well-being. So the midday break is really pausing before you eat, pausing before you have to open up that next book, pausing before you have to do your next thing. So it's about giving yourself nourishment and getting back from that sympathetic system of go, go, go into your parasympathetic system. And so one thing that we do is through breath work. Breath work is the most powerful tool and technique to meditation. And one way to help stimulate that is what we call is breath of fire, which I say to do this whenever you need a jolt of energy, because it's going to help to clarify your brain, help to clarify your presence. And it also stimulates your digestive system. So if you do this prior to eating, it's going to be much more effective. That way you'll get into your parasympathetic system so that you can digest your food and so you can study and actually retain it, all of those things, right? So one way to do that is that you would start your practice at any time, whether you can even do it standing, is that you're just going to pump your belly. With every exhale, your navel's going to come in and then the belly re-expands. So it's contraction, expansion. So I'm exhaling, inhaling, and it's just a natural rhythm. But we're going to do it a little bit faster, and it's similar to the panting of a dog. It sounds like this. And I just push my navel in to project the sound out. And then it creates this accordion in the belly, and it's very heat generating. That heat in your body is also going to calm down your nervous system and soothe you. It's also going to give you some energy. So if you're feeling like tired, which usually happens in meditation sometimes, the nervous system starts to slow down, we get tired. This is a way to give you a jump start throughout the midday or through middle practice. You're meditating, you're getting tired, do breath of fire, you'll perk up again. It is advised if you are menstruating not to do this practice. So this could be just something where you do belly breaths in and belly breaths out. So inhaling your belly full, exhaling it inward. So we're just going to do this for 1 minute, just so you can see how quickly and effective it can be. So let's just sit up nice and tall. Again, if you need to just rearrange your seat, open your mouth at first and start to do breath of fire through your mouth. Then you can close your eyes and close your mouth. And it's just a simple rhythm, like you're jogging, you're strutting. You're getting a lot of oxygen in the system. It's a big tune-up. Now on the count of 3, you're going to hold the breath. 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Bring your chin slightly down, your throat back. Reach up to the top of your head like someone's pulling you up to the sky. Hold very still. And then exhale, release. And become very still here. Don't fidget. Don't move. Just experience whatever happens naturally in your body. So we apply the technology of stress to then create the counter of ease and peace, of nothingness, of just being. We do and then rest. That's one of the biggest techniques of meditation. That's one way of tapping in. Now you can open your eyes. And the next way is to create what we call mudras, or connecting the fingers to the brain, which when we were growing the fetus, we kind of were like sleeping like this and our hands started to grow. And so there's a lot of neurological connections between the fingertips and the brain. So this is another way to stimulate. You're studying, you're feeling foggy, you don't know what, what's it called, a treatment to do and so forth. So you basically are going to take the tips of your fingertips, and it's almost like just tapping your brain, but you're just tapping your fingertips. And so you can just start now tapping your fingertips. This is mind-body coordination. Then you can close your eyes or look at the tip of your nose, or one of the meditating spots is what we call the mind's eye, third eye, center of your forehead. You can turn your gaze up to that middle brow point, which helps to activate your pituitary pineal gland to secrete balancing of hormones that create the feeling of well-being and bliss. So you could be meditating, closing your eyes on your third eye point, the pineal gland, the center of your brain, or you just keep your eyes fixed on the tip of your nose. One of the fastest ways to meditate is to do something that you're focusing on, that you have to focus your whole attention on, and then you break, you pause, and you do nothing. Hear the sound of the tapping, feel the reverberations from your fingers to your brain. Notice your breath. And 3, 2, 1, release the hands onto your lap. Eyes closed, be very still. Maintain a fixed gaze either down towards your nose or towards the middle point of your brow. When the eyes stay still, the mind quiets. Notice your natural state of being. Even if you feel agitated or distracted, generate acceptance for what is. Now bring your hands to your belly and breathe so that you can tactilely feel your belly rise and fall with every breath. When we place our hands on our body, we become more present to where and how we're breathing. Feel into the belly. Now bring your hands to the sides of your ribs, to your diaphragm area, to the mid of your body. And continue to breathe through the side ribs, expanding your diaphragm with your breath, feeling the diaphragm rise on the exhalation and descend on the inhalation. Expanding and contracting. And bring your hands to your sternum, to your clavicle, and you can just apply your fingertips, and you want to help the sternum or the chest rise. So as you inhale, just feel yourself lifting up through the sternum, through the clavicle, and then as you exhale, you allow it to soften. And the same thing, just simply getting as much breath at the top of the lungs, really filling up, lifting up the heaviness of your rib cage, the heaviness of your bones. Help your lungs out by lifting and supporting the clavicle and the sternum as you breathe in and out, assisting more space in your lungs. And keeping your inner gaze, put your hands to your lap. And now we're going to focus on breathing into the belly, into the diaphragm, and into the upper chest. So you'll breathe in 10%, 50%, and then 100%. So we're just going to pause the breath in each of the sections, and then we're going to exhale completely out in one breath. We'll do it together. Exhale whatever's in your lungs. Inhale into your belly. Pause. Inhale into your ribs and diaphragm. Pause. Inhale, fill up your clavicle, your sternum, the very top of your ribs and chest. Everything's full of breath. And exhale smoothly through your nose in one big release. And repeat. Breathe into your belly. Pause. Breathe into your diaphragm. Pause. Breathe into your upper chest and your clavicle and the top of your lungs. And when you can't hold anymore, exhale really smoothly, controlling through the nose or even the mouth if you need to. We'll do this one more time, breathing into the belly. Pause. Into the ribs. Pause. Into the upper chest. And pause. And then let it all go. One smooth release. Come into your natural breath, filling up from the belly to the ribs to the top, and from the top to the ribs to the belly. Just noticing the natural accordion of your breath, not holding the breath, but just letting it flow naturally inside of you through these three centers. And so you've prepared for everlasting meditation. You can just keep meditating, which basically is simply just being aware and present to your breath, to your body, to what is arising. And then when you feel like you're energized and resourced and you feel complete, you just once again, you can bow your head, just making that very conscientious, like, okay, this is now, the meditation is finished. I'm saying thank you. So that from that recognition and affirmation and gratitude, you then lift your head, open your eyes, and you can notice, like, now I'm stepping with that same peace and well-being into my next part of my day. So the question was from about why breath of fire is not recommended during menstruation. The reason why is because the heat of the lower belly and the womb space is rising up, which is, in the yogic tradition, it's about different energies moving in different directions, and what we call is this apana rising energy. But when you're menstruating, you want what's called this apana energy, grounding energy, so that the blood releases out and down. So you want to go in a downward energy, versus breath of fire, like I said, is bringing energy up towards the brain. It's also called like the skull cleansing. So basically, when you do that pumping of the breath, it's like you're just burning off all the stress, anxiety, monkey mind, chaos. And so it's like you just have to breathe it out. And then that's why when you do these techniques, your meditations become much more quick and to the point and direct afterwards. Maybe you're experiencing that now, right? You're in that sort of like half space. Yeah, you're welcome. So that's the idea of that. Yes. And you, of course, if someone is in pain, cramping, you don't want to be pushing pressure on your belly as well. Thank you for that. Yes. So it's really just about, doing something that's naturally these techniques. If it's not working for you, you do a different technique. So we've done many techniques. And so the last technique that we're going to do, we'll go over just a little bit of time, is sound. So we have breath work, movement, and sound. Those techniques are very important to prepare for sitting in stillness and stability. So this next exercise would be something that you can do during the nighttime or release. So after your day, or after your exams, or after anything that's maybe stressful, high anxiety, really about cleansing the field and tuning into vibration is about getting back to resonance, because we know that the quantum field, everything is vibration. So as we listen to good, music that makes us feel good, it's the same thing. We were using sounds to help our emotional stability, to help cope with whatever's going on, to recenter us, to get us into a more natural, restful, meditative experience. So the first sound is usually what we do is we sit, prepare ourselves to come into meditation by simply purging. So one of the ways that I like to do this is you just inhale and then you sigh it out. You're like, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be like any, sound like a singing sound. It's really cathartic. And what you can do is you can also shake, like, shake, 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 shake. And, as Asians, we tend to find ourselves sometimes maybe not as awkwardly expressive. So maybe we can really tap into that and just kind of really allow ourselves to be raw and expressive, however it comes to you naturally, just loud and out. So just take a moment, go, nobody can hear you, or maybe they can, but it's part of shaking up the normalness to get into the extraordinariness. And that's what meditation is. That's what these practices really do. They break you out of your patterns into, exquisite connection to the whole of life. So take a moment, take a deep breath in, vocalize, let it out. Good. So now you got that first bit out, right? And then sit with your hands on your lap. You can now close your eyes. Now we're going to streamline this. You're going to breathe in through the nose, and then you're going to hiss through your mouth. So what it feels like, it's like I'm inhaling everything that I'm responsible for, and I exhale everything that doesn't belong to me, that doesn't serve me, that I'm not responsible for. I let it go. So we want to really create this deep release. Hiss it out. Doing that consciously. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, hiss it out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, hiss it out. Okay. Now we're going to do a vibrational humming sound, and it's going to be like a whole body is tuning into one frequency of resonance, of well-being and health, tapping in whatever dissonance is in your body. You're just going to find the tune that works for you. Take a deep breath in and hum. One more time. Notice the space after the sound. And all of these techniques are preparing you to come into the observational mind, to become the witness. The outside, larger, louder chatter is quiet now. And even if it's still there, we're going to work with it. So in this next portion, we're going to take 1 minute to become very still. Your eyes are closed, your spine is tall. You can rearrange or itch if you need to, just to get that last bit of movement out of your system before you sit very still. And this is the Zen approach. We're going to become extra, completely still. Your breath is going to become very soft. And even if you have to itch, even if there's pain, it's only a minute, so I want you to just see if you can stay with it. Don't react to it by moving. Just become extra still. Letting your body become extra still and quiet, even if your mind and even if the sensations are very active. Let the outer body be extra quiet and extra still. Notice how your body has to be very strong and active to hold that stillness. It's working really hard to be still. Notice your inner resistance to stillness. Avoid reacting. Just notice. Soften the stillness, allowing your hands, your tongue, your face, your shoulders to maybe move if needed into a more restful position, but maintain a closed eyes and an inner quiet space. Relax your body, and whether it's lying down or sitting straight up, stay soft through the edges of your eyes, your teeth and tongue. The skin is soft. The belly, the organs are soft. And in this presencing, let yourself breathe naturally. This is the place of meditation, reflecting with acceptance, no longer doing or trying to be anything, but observing what is happening. What is this life right here, right now, in my body, just as it is? And so together we'll just sit, feel, rest, and breathe, noticing when the thoughts come, they're only thoughts. And you can always deal with those thoughts later. So you can say, "Thank you, thought. I'll deal with you later." Or go back to the technique of simply saying, "I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out," instead of thinking of something outside of this moment. Feel your hands and your feet, your whole body. Whenever you feel distracted, come back into the body. If you feel your consciousness drifting off, just stretch your spine tall, reaffirm your seat, and I'll help you to focus on breathing and resting. Stay in your body. And eventually your body will become very peaceful. And you may just simply experience connection to not just your body, but the whole world around you. This whole natural world and all that you love. The bigger picture of what connects you to this life. Instead of feeling separate from life, feel fully engaged and connected to all that is important to you. The space of meditation is a personal and inner journey, and it's different for each of us. We're experiencing different sensations and experiences. And all of that is absolutely valid and part of the practice, part of the journey. You cannot meditate wrong. You know this technology inside of you. It's simply the art of being and breathing and living. However it speaks to you, however you experience these practices, we simply bow our heads, or however we feel naturally inclined to say thank you. You can put your hands on your body, but we thank the lineages of the ancient ones and the ancestors and the traditions where these practices have come from, and the ways in our teachers or organizations have landed us together in this exploration. And we just give gratitude to the organizations that really make, like this one, mental health, well-being, a pillar for our prosperity, a pillar for our progress, a pillar for our capacity to continue to do the work and the studentship necessary to support this life. And so we just honor that, and however you feel, and you can open your eyes, and if there's any questions, but really the intent was to give you my biggest philosophy within yoga and meditation is to do some preparatory work prior to just sitting and being, whether you're lying down or sitting, breathing, to get into your body, to move, to breathe, and then just let yourself naturally come into any state of meditation. It's just simple mindfulness, simple coaching, it's simple acceptance to help generate more and more intrinsic compassion and love and capacity for you and your service. So thank you for your service. And yeah, how do you feel? Any experiences? How many minutes do you start to see the benefit of meditation work for those who don't get more than 5 minutes breaks in their day? Yeah. So that's the thing, is like there's an idea that if you just sit and try to meditate, it takes 20 minutes just to get into that juicy part. So that's why the techniques of like breathing, moving, even doing some of the sort of vocal thing, like humming, doing just a few, like what we did in the very beginning. We just moved a little bit and then you stopped and breathed for like 30 seconds, right? So doing a minute of something, a minute afterwards of just resting. That's natural meditation. It's like running and walking and then sitting and resting. That's the natural progression of meditation. So if you only have 5 minutes, just even doing jumping jacks for 1 minute and then standing and resting and breathing, it's just having that conscious mindfulness of being in your body and feeling what happens. Once you're in your body's naturally going to coach you how to meditate. And when you forget, you can just think of the technique of like, just what am I doing? So I'm breathing in, I'm feeling my body, I'm resting. You just use your secondary mind to coach you in this experience. What do you think of a calm 10-minute guided meditation? Absolutely. Guided meditations are super effective. They're super important because one thing we have to remember is the mind needs to grasp onto something. So we can't just be like, mind, don't talk, don't think, don't do anything. It doesn't do that. So the guided meditation gives the mind the guidance to tell the body and to tell the consciousness how to direct the experience, just like when you're watching a movie or something like that. So this is why, like, guided meditation, being in groups, you have the support, but also the mind has something to work with. So meditation technique and meditation itself and yoga and everything is like, we do these tools to channel the mind into whatever we want. So whether that's awakening, whether that's health and well-being, whether that's connecting with your spiritual philosophy, whatever it is that you want, whether it's directing it to the moment. That's why your mind is so powerful in meditation. So don't think that you have to like not think. direct the mind and allow the body to follow to that experience. Yeah, so thank you very much, Paige, for being here. And I'm glad that my voice is soothing and helpful. Thank you.
I'm totally mellowed out right now.
Okay, good. Yes. Yeah, I want to yeah, so I'm happy that my voice is soothing. Good. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when I meditate, I love to hear my teachers' voices, and and you can use this as a recording anytime. And it's been an honor to be here with all of you, and I'm really grateful for all that you do and what you're studying to do, and that and I hope that maybe there's one thing that you'll remember and take away and be like, oh yeah, I just have to do a little in the middle of my day. If you could just break up your day with just a few conscious breaths, it's a game changer. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Kimiko. That was wonderful.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
love how Grina is like this kitty with the hat. Or it's a bunny.
It's a bunny.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Yui. Thank you, Paige. And thank you.
All right. You all have a wonderful evening.
All right. Take care. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.